live stream lesson with me, Fuchs, and Ukulele Zen. Today, action-packed lesson, we are going to be learning a very thorough lesson on the Beatles classic, I Feel Fine. Stick around for this entire lesson and be sure to review the different sections because throughout the course of this lesson, we're going to be working progressively, first with a strum and sing version. And then I'm going to teach you how to play the classic intro riff. All the graphics will be shown right here on the screen, and I'll also teach you note for note George Harrison's guitar solo. It's going to be a lot of fun, so I hope you'll stick around. Check the links down below to receive a printable version of this. We got all of this coming. It's going to be right here on the screen. If you'd like to support this channel and become a member of the Ukulele Zen community, there are links down below. Let's jump right into things. So glad you decided to join me live. I see some familiar faces here. Thank you for joining from all over the world. Sweden's in the house. Hey, glad you're here, Lena. Michael McKinney from California. Thanks. This lesson will work great for low G and high G ukulele. And if you play baritone, that's no sweat at all because look, baritone chords and standard G, C, E, A chords. Stick around for the rest because we're going to be learning the intro, the solo, all the good stuff. Let's start first with the introduction. You know, when we're playing this as a strum and sing version, good thing to do will just be to sing or scat the riffs, okay? So the introduction starts on a D7 chord. Okay, I'm playing my D7 with my middle and my ring finger, and we're gonna sing this note. Ba. Yeah, thanks for warming up. Ba. Ba 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 ba. That's what we're gonna sing. So strum the chord, let it ring, then we'll jam the tune. First chord is D7, then we change to a C7 chord. Ba ba bo wa ba 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 da, and then we play a G7 chord. Ba za do do za da 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 da. I've got two versions of the strum. I'm going to show you the first one now, so we can hit that intro and just hit the ground running and start playing the entire tune. The strum is one you may already be familiar with. The strum would be just strumming down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Okay? Just keep a steady backbeat, have fun. We'll be going into more depth as the lesson continues. So let's start with this introduction, okay? It's not notated here, but remember, it's D7, C7, G7 while we scat. Are you ready? A 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Ba 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 C7. Ba 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 G7. Ba 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 start strumming. Ba 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 and sing it. Baby's good to me, you know, she's happy as can be, you know, she said so. I'm in love with her, I feel fine. Next verse. Baby said she's mine, you know, she tells me all the time, you know, she said so. I'm in love with her, I feel fine. Next part. I'm so glad that she's my little girl. She's so glad she's telling all the world that her baby buys her things, you know. She dyes her diamond rings, you know, she said so. Let's end this verse. She's in love with me, I feel fine. How'd you do so far? Sweet. Next, we would play the guitar solo. We're going to have a beginner-friendly review of that bridge, some tricky chords there. But this is the guitar solo, and we're going to be learning this later this lesson, so stick around. I'm going to show you the whole George Harrison guitar solo. When you're in the rhythm part, you're just going to be strumming 4 beats each box. And then you get to this part, you let the chords ring just like the introduction, and then here at the end, you'll bring in the rhythm again. So let's go back and review that bridge real quick, and it's an opportunity for us to learn a great, all caps, boldface, great practice method. Something I use every day. It's left hand only, or I should say fretting hand only. Some people play left-handed. Fretting hand only, just hold down the G chord and strum it once. I'm so, you go to the glad, we move to B minor, glad. Next we move to C, that she's my little girl. Now, the fretting hand only practice is simply just muting the strings, keeping a steady beat with your foot, and training your hand to change lightly. Even if you know these chords solid, this is never a bad idea to do. And let's actually do it with a steady beat. This is 100 beats a minute on my trusty metronome. Okay, focus on changing the chords right on time. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm so glad, keep it light, that she's my little girl. Next, she's so glad, she's telling all the world. Sweet. So that is a quick way to review just the fingerings, keeping it light. What did it feel like when you used just the fretting hand? Hopefully, it gave you a little insight into how much extra pressure you're putting on. So, muting the strings and just working with a light touch, really tremendously beneficial. Now, another great practice tip I want to share with you right now, and that is, when you're changing from chord to chord, choose your fingerings wisely. You know, when you're moving from G7 to a D7 chord, it's a good idea to just let go of this finger and let these two come up. That's a good common fingering. All right. He buys her diamond rings, you know. She said so. Right? That makes it much easier because it's the same finger. It's like a chord twin. And when you're in the bridge and you're changing from that she's my little girl, I would use this fingering of D7, fingers 1 and 2, because that makes the change to G much easier when you get to the second half of the bridge. If you want to really stay on top of it, you would change to D7 right here. She's so glad she's telling. Try using these two fingers, all the world. Why would I use this fingering here? I think you know the answer. It's because the next chord is going to be your G7. It just makes the jamming so much easier when you have an efficiency of fingering. All right, we're going to get into picking the riff in just a moment. Oh, I forgot to mention at the very top of this video that this is a copywritten song, so you may experience some ads from YouTube. When they come in, take a deep breath, strum a chord, mute your computer. I don't have control over that, all right? If you're enjoying this so far and you want to continue, stick around, reach out, click that like button, and click the subscribe button so you can support this channel. Every like, every subscribe helps YouTube spread my content. It doesn't cost a thing. Check the links down below if you'd like to join the community and get access to a huge library of bonus lessons. You also get discounts on my online courses. So check the links down below. Okay, Thanks so much. Let's keep on going. Now, we're going to work with strumming the solo section, singing a little more, and then we're going to learn how to pick the riffs. There's a lot more to come. Check it out when we get to this. Let's just scat the solo. This is what it sounds like. I'm going to teach you this in a minute. All right, so that's a 16-bar guitar solo, same key as the original. Let's start by just strumming and scatting the solo, okay? Let's get ourselves in the groove. I'll count you in. Ready? 1, 2, scat it. Bo-dum, ba-dum, bo-dum, ba-da-boom, ba-dum, 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 ba-da-boom. Bum, ba-zuz, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Bum, ba-zuz, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. All right, so we're strumming all the way through the steady rhythm on the D7 and on the C7. We are letting the chords ring out. All right, that's the solo section, pretty straightforward. Now I want to take you through the rest of the tune, just jamming, but I also want to show you a great way to add even more spice to this strum, okay? See, totally great just to hold down that down, that up, down, down, that up, down, down, that up, down, down, that up, down. Solid groove. There is a really cool strumming trick. Check this out. Let me just lose this for a moment so you get a clearer view of what's going on with my hand. When we're strumming this, I'd like you to try this new rhythm. You're going to play down, chuck, down, up, chuck, up. This is what it sounds like in real time, then I'll break it down. All right, there's no notation for this. Go with your ear. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I know there are some experienced chuckers out there. I see you. But if you're not an experienced chucker, here is a 30-second lesson, 30 seconds of your time, and you will get the chuck. Chuck is where you quickly strum the strings and you mute afterwards. So hold down your G7 chord. Just hold it down. We're going to strum. You can even use these two fingers together or just your index. You're going to strum and then touch the strings right here with your palm. Okay? So strum, mute. They're far away. You ready? Strum, mute. Do it again. Strum, mute. Now bring them a little closer together. Strum, mute. Strum, mute. Strum, mute. Have a little break after each attempt so it doesn't feel, rushed, doesn't feel tense. Strum, mute. Strum, mute. Strum, mute. Now bring them really close to each other so they're almost happening at the same time. Can you hear it? Can you hear it in your own playing? Give a little space after each one. And now stack them right on top of one another. You got the chuck. Some people like to chuck with this finger strumming. I like to strum with these two as well. Either way, your chuck ends with the finger out. All right? And that means you'll be ready for an up strum right after. Come on, let's work this rhythm. It goes like this. Strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up. 2, 3, again. Strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up. 1, 2. 2 more times. Strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up. 1 more time. Here we go. Strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up. This time let's do it without stopping. Here we go. Strum, chuck, down, chuck, up, strum, chuck, down, chuck, up. This is slow, of course, but we're keeping it relaxed. Baby's good to me. Now you've got this chuck on the beats 2 and 4, making a snare drum. Play this a little faster. At 110 beats a minute. It's time for guided practice. Here we go. I'll do it to get it started, then you jump in. We're gonna bump up the tempo 10 BPM each time we work it. Here we go. First one, I'll start. Strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up, strum, chuck, down, up, strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up, strum, chuck, down, up, chuck. Does this feel tricky for you? No sweat. You know what you do? You do it just once with space. Strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up. And check in with how you did. Okay? So you can keep going with me or just do it once and then hop on the train again. Most importantly, you're training yourself to be relaxed and accurate. Here we go. 4 times in a row. 110. Here we go. Strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up, strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up, strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up, strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up. As a bump and groove, rock and roll backbeat. A little faster. 120 beats a minute. 1, 2, here we go. Strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up, strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up, chuck, down, up, chuck, up, strum, chuck, down, up, chuck. How you feeling? Shake it off. 130 beats a minute. 1, 2, strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up, strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up, strum, chuck, down, up, chuck. Keep it light. Yeah. As you go faster, as you play faster, keep it light. And go on feel. All right. My touch is very, very light as I play. How are you doing so far? And yes, thank you, Pris. I appreciate you encourage people to click that like button. It does really help my YouTube channel. You're busy, you got your hands on your ukes, just reach out, tickle that like button. Thank you so much. Now, we can go faster, but what I'd like to do is first show you one more thing for this strum, and it has to do with the left hand, okay? A little tricky, but we can do it. Let's do it on the D7 chord. This is what it's going to sound like. Strum, chuck, down. Not every time, but every once in a while, it's really cool to add a little slide on the last up strum. So it would go like this, very slow. Let me show you. Strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up. See, I went down. So try that with me. 2, 3, 4, strum, chuck, down, up, chuck, up. All right, it sounds wrong, right? Because we haven't resolved it. But now we're going to resolve it. And we're going to resolve it. We're going to strum up and slide the chord in without strumming. Let me say that again. You're going to start at the first fret, strum up, slide in. And that slide is beat 1. Right after that slide, you chuck. So let's put those 3 movements together, and then we'll marry it into the rhythm. Here it is. Up strum, slide, chuck. Take your hand off and do it again. Ready? Up strum, slide, chuck. 1, 2, here we go. Up strum, slide, chuck. This is an in-depth lesson. Hope you're enjoying it. Up strum, slide, chuck. Let's do 2 in a row without breaking. They will sound like this. Just to get ourselves used to it. In order to slide, we got to have a very loose wrist, very loose hand, especially the thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. last one. Cool. Now, if you're comfortable with that, try adding it in. The whole thing will sound like this. Down, chuck, down, up, chuck, up, down, chuck. All right, now we wouldn't do this for every single chord, but here's an example. One, just watch when I drop it in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Baby says she's mine. You know she tells me all the time. You know she says so. I'm in love with her. I feel fine. All right, pretty cool, right? It has that 1960s soul, funk, backbeat groove to it. How are you feeling so far? If you have questions about anything we're covering, please, pretty please, leave a comment down below. Put some question marks before and after your question so I can answer them, okay? I love helping you out. Appreciate you being here. If you're enjoying this video, please reach out. Click the subscribe button. There's tons of great content waiting for you right here at this channel. And click the like button as well. It is a totally free way to support this channel, helps YouTube spread my content around. There are links down below to join as a patron, and you can get access to the song sheets, tablatures for this and many other lessons, bonus lessons, vocal tutorials each and every month. There are discounts on my online courses for members. And last but not least, if you want to hang with me in person, I am holding a retreat. Heartfelt prayers go out to everyone who's been affected by Hurricane Helene. I have friends in the Asheville, North Carolina area who are still without running water, without electricity. So it's almost difficult to say this, but I pray that everything will return to normal. I have faith that it will return to normal. And when it does, we'll be meeting 30 minutes outside of Asheville for a fantastic retreat. There are links down below where you can learn about this. It's going to be a great, great time. In addition to a full weekend of classes, workshops, great learning experiences for you, I'll be playing a full-length concert. So check the links down below if you'd like to join me for the Smoky Mountain Ukulele Retreat, the Mountain Strings Ukulele Retreat in beautiful North Carolina. Big prayers, big love going out to everyone who's affected all over the southeast of the U.S. and elsewhere. I saw that there were floods in Eastern Europe as well. Quite a wild time here on planet Earth. Now, let us learn more. You ready? Let's check out this section. I want to teach you the introduction, okay? Now, the introduction is going to go a bit like this. Just going to rearrange my graphics here. I'm going to lose the chords for a minute and bring in this shape. Now I'm going to explain what all of this means and take you through the tablature. But the first thing to do is just listen to me play it. Watch my hand. Baby says she's mine. Right, this is a really cool thing to be able to play. You could imagine your ukulele strum group, some people playing the chords for you while you play that. You get a whole bunch of your friends to play this. This movable shape looks like a bunch of dots on the fretboard, and that's what it is. First thing to do is this exercise. I'd like you to float the hand up and find the 10th fret on the second string with your ring finger, okay? 10th fret with the ring finger on the second string, and we're going to add these two fingers right behind it. Now let go and find all three fingers at the same time. See if you can move slowly, just like a glacier, like a bird coming in for a soft landing, okay? This is going to be key because the first two notes are right there. And if you have the index finger already pressed down, you're ready to go. Next note is the middle finger at the ninth fret. You can see how that makes a triangle. Triangular shape. Okay, I'm picking with my thumb. You may like to use a pick or these fingers. Doesn't really matter how you pick as long as your fingers are in these places. But you can see it all begins with just orienting yourself with that ring finger, but it's backed up by the index right behind it. Okay, let's play those 3 notes. Excellent. Now, I'd like you to move your ring finger up to the first string, 10th fret, and then slide it down 1 fret. I think it's a great idea to have the ring finger slide down because then that sets up the index finger to be right there for the last part of that shape, right there at the 7th fret. Now you could finger this in other ways, but this is the most ergonomic, the most pain-free way, efficient way. Okay, so it's got to hop up and then slide down. Okay, and a key thing about the timing before we begin to really work this with a metronome is that the riff does not start on beat 1. It starts on beat 2. Listen, please. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, did you hear that? You can see that rest mark right there. Be sure to leave it hollow, okay? Don't play on beat 1. We will do something cool with beat 1 later on, so stay tuned. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. 1. Okay, we're going to reset ourselves, and we're just, for those just starting out with picking, we're going to go a little slower, and then we will return to that speed. Slow motion practice. It would be like this. 3rd fret, third finger, index finger, and just get comfortable with that. Slide down, block it out. While you're doing this, this is not a waste of time. You are really laying the foundations to having it well known, and behind the scenes, your thumb is super relaxed, okay? Yes, it has to push, but if the thumb is relaxed, then your wrist will be relaxed. A relaxed thumb is a relaxed wrist. A relaxed wrist is a happy hand. Okay, so let's play it again. Slow motion one more time, and then we're going to really rock it out in time. Thanks for watching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then you would reset yourself, and you would just repeat that again and again, okay? After we play it there, we move the whole thing down to the 8th fret. Okay, so yes, there's numbers to follow along with and standard notation, but it really is essentially that same shape. That triangle hopping across. Right, trying to make this really accessible for you, okay? I hope you're finding this helpful. The last part of the riff, it goes to right here at the 3rd fret for the G7 chord. Here it's a little different because you play with the open string. Is this too slow? I hope not. Let's do the whole thing slow-mo, and then we're going to really start to work with the metronome. Okay? Let's do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, 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 do. 1, 2, 3. Whole thing. 1. Move down. Move down. And you repeat that. Hey, leave a comment. Did you get through the whole thing? Are you trying your best? That's all we can do. Thank you so much for hanging. Leave a comment. Let me know any questions. Let me know what you're thinking about this. Let's do the whole thing again. And the 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. 1. 1. 1. Okay, so this is the slow motion friendly, beginner friendly version of the how to learn the riff. Pause the video, rewind the video, check the chapter marks. Of course, you know me, I make these lessons so you can really benefit from them. So please rewind and review. I hope that you have fun getting this under your fingers. Once you can do this in slow-mo, you know, it's just a matter of adding time. Almost every metronome has a tap feature. So you tap the tempo. See how it's calculating how fast I'm tapping? Do, 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 do. Oops, that's not exactly it. Do, 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 ba, 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 ba. And it's roughly 69 beats a minute. Let's start here. Progressive, we'll do just a few minutes of progressive practice. Start at 80. Then we'll bump it to 90. Then we'll keep going. Okay? 1, 2. Thank you for hanging. 2, 3, 4. 1. Slide down. Third fret. Okay. Okay, now we're going to bump up the speed, and yep, I will do my best to advance the slide for the tablature, but hopefully you're more than not, you are just watching your fingers, watching that shape move from the ring finger at the 10th fret, ring finger at the 8th fret, ring finger at the 3rd fret. Okay, so that's what you got to remember, 10, 8, 3. And the rest kind of takes care of itself. One last little doohickey I want to share with you. The first one, instead of leaving beat 1 open, you can play the open string for C. And then for the G7 riff, open G string. Okay, so did you catch that? The very first one, stay off of beat 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. Then C. Then G. G. Baby is good to me. Okay, so that open string on beat 1 really sounds awesome when you play the open string on beat 1 for the C7 riff and for the G7 riff. All right, I'm going into some detail. I hope you don't mind. Let's keep going. 100 beats a minute. Let's get this under our fingers. Breathe, smile. 1, 2, here we go. 1. Thank you, Trey. Thanks, everybody. So, you know, you get the idea, right? We pick this up faster and faster and faster. One more time, and then I'm going to show you how you can add this riff to the song. Would you like me to show you that? Let me just jump in. We're getting long in the tooth here. Baby's good to me, you know. She's happy as can be. You know she said so. I'm in love with her. I feel fine. Okay, this is a much more advanced version of strumming and singing, but you can sneak that riff in. You've heard this tune a million times, maybe. If you haven't, go listen to it. You know. Okay, so a lot to cover, and what I wanted to do was to offer you one last thing here before we just jam the whole thing. Let's do some progressive practice on the entire solo. What's nice about learning the solo is that if we practice the solo, then we are also practicing the entire intro. All right, so let's do this with the metronome progressively. Do, do, da, do, da, do, 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 da, 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 da. Really, really good thing to do is to be able to say it. If you can say it, you can play it. Hello, we are back. Okay, technical difficulties. Thank you for standing by. Lost the internet connection. Are you still there? I appreciate you watching. What we're going to do right now is, before I get cut off again, is just play through the entire song. I went through a lot of detail about the strum, the basic strum, how it can be played down, chuck, up, chuck, down. Okay, earlier in this video I showed that, as well as how to play the introduction. And we're going to do that right now, so just follow along with what you can do. Thank you for watching. Please check the links down below. I really appreciate you hanging out. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and check out some more of the free content that's available for you at Ukulele Zen, the YouTube channel. There are links down below if you'd like to join the community. Hope you are feeling fine on this beautiful day. Here we go. One. Introduction. Here we go. One. Strum a C. Strum a G7. Strum it with me. Baby's good to me. You know she's happy as can be. You know she said so. I'm in love with her. I feel fine. Baby said she's mine, you know. She tells me all the time, you know. She said so. She's in love with me. I feel fine. Bridge. I'm so glad that she's my little girl. She's so glad she's telling all the world that her baby buys her things, you know. She buys her diamond rings, you know. She said so. She's in love with me. I feel fine. Strum or pick. Intro. C7. G7. Verse 4. Baby says she's mine, you know. She tells me all the time, you know. She said so. I'm in love with me. I feel fine. Here comes the bridge. I'm so glad she's my little girl. She's so glad she's telling all the world that her baby buys her things, you know. She buys her diamond rings, you know. She said so. She's in love with me. I feel fine. She's in love with me. I feel fine. She's in love with me, and I feel fine. You can end by repeating this one part or just strumming a G7 chord. Whatever you like to do. Quote the Rolling Stones. right, folks, we got cut off. Our internet connection here ended. I don't know how many folks are still watching. I appreciate you hanging out to the end. Be sure to check the links down below because there's a printable song sheet for everything that I shared in this video. Printable ukulele tabs for the riffs, okay, the solo parts, and also the full song sheet for all the lyrics. Thank you so much for hanging. Terribly sorry about the technical difficulties, but if you enjoyed this lesson, reach out, give this video a thumbs up. It helps this YouTube channel so much. Appreciate you being here, and I look forward to seeing you in another lesson sometime soon. Wishing you good health, many blessings.